Good afternoon and welcome to the Royal Northern College of Music. Please stand for the President's procession.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. A very warm welcome to RNCM's 2024 Postgrad Annual Congregation. My name is Ravi Gupta, and I have the honor and privilege of chairing this wonderful college. This is a special day for all of our talented students. We are very blessed to have such incredible talent in this building, and I'd like to congratulate on behalf of the board each and every one of you on your achievements today. I hope you do enjoy the rest of the day celebrating with your loved ones, friends and family. It is with great pleasure I hereby declare this congregation open. Proceedings will commence with a short address from our dear Principal, Linda Merrick.
Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's Congregation of Awards. This special occasion is where we celebrate the achievements of our students and thank them for the contribution they have made to the life of the college. It's our opportunity to thank you, their parents, families and friends, for the support you have given over so many years. And also an opportunity for me to pay tribute to my colleagues here at the RNCM who work so tirelessly on behalf of our students. Each year, we are delighted to confer associateship, fellowship and honorary membership of the RNCM on individuals who have made an invaluable contribution to the professional world of music and the life of the college. We look forward to meeting some of them shortly and hearing more about their work. Today, however, is first and foremost about our graduates. For those of you receiving your awards, you should be incredibly proud of all you have achieved in your time here. Your hard work and determination to seize every opportunity to fulfill your goals does you enormous credit. As you embark upon your careers in a highly competitive and rapidly evolving global music industry, the profile and reputation of the institution where you studied matters more than ever. We were therefore delighted that the RNCM was ranked as one of the top 5 conservatoires in the world in the recent QS World University Survey. The college also retained its gold status in every category of the UK's Teaching Excellence Framework and has now secured a prestigious 5 Times Higher Education Awards, adding the honour of being named the Outstanding Entrepreneurial University of the Year to an increasingly full trophy cabinet. There are too many other external endorsements to list here today, but as our graduates, you can be very proud to have studied at an institution that is recognised for and committed to excellence in everything it does. Studying music at a world-leading conservatoire like the RNCM is incredibly challenging. Students need to excel in their practical, academic and vocational work while managing busy and complex diaries within the institution and externally. Balancing these pressures demands not only exceptional talent and dedication, but also resilience and creativity. You have shown all of these qualities in your time with us. As we reflect on where we are today, we can be confident that the RNCM is fulfilling its mission to define the future of music. And it is you, our graduates, who will take this vision forward as you embark upon your careers. You will be the advocates for positive change in our profession and society, ensuring that music is accessible, inclusive and relevant to people of all ages and backgrounds in the years to come. In an increasingly challenging and diverse profession, one of the strongest indicators of our success is that graduates from the RNCM remain so highly sought after by employers. I'm confident that those of you graduating today will follow in these footsteps. You're about to join our global network of alumni, and wherever your lives and careers may take you, you will find friends and allies who studied here. When I speak to former students, it's obvious that the college occupies a very special place in their hearts. I hope it will in yours too. You leave the RNCM with the power not only to realise your dreams, but also to ensure that music is for everyone. I know you will use this power wisely. Your excellence as practitioners, complemented by your innovative spirit, entrepreneurial skills, and commitment to others in society, are the qualities that will mark you out for future success and a meaningful and sustainable career in music. Where you study remains on your CV and is your calling card for life. I hope you will be really proud to be graduates of the RNCM. I'm confident that you'll benefit from the esteem within which the college is held in the UK and overseas, and that this will put you in the strongest possible position for your future careers. I hope that in time you would also want to join us in our mission to ensure other young people like you are able to fulfil their dreams of studying at the RNCM. A quality music education and training is expensive. We need to ensure that this does not exclude those who have the talent and aspiration to make music part of their lives, but lack the financial means to bring this to fruition. Our development team raises critical funding every year for students, facilitating opportunities we would otherwise be unable to provide. With their help, and thanks to the generosity of our family of donors, we are able to offer scholarships and bursaries to 1 in 3 of our students. However, we would dearly love to be able to do more, and so we need your help in spreading the word. If you have been the beneficiary of an award, or even if you haven't, please do pay this forward and encourage people to support us in whatever way they can. If you or your families would like to give something back, either now or in the future, please do reach out, as we would love to have a conversation with you. To conclude, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of you receiving your awards today. To our new honorands, I welcome you warmly into the extended RNCM family. To our graduates, you will always be very welcome here. Do please keep in touch with our alumni team. My colleagues would love to hear from you, to share and to celebrate your news with the wider RNCM community, to support you in celebrating and developing your professional connections and networks, and to champion you and your careers in any way they can. It has been a genuine pleasure and a privilege to work with you in your time at the RNCM. As you take your next steps into the music profession, wherever in the world this may be, we will be following your progress with much interest and wishing you every success and happiness into the future. Thank you. President, on behalf of the RNCM, I now invite presentations of musicians who have been deemed worthy to be admitted as fellows of this college.
Mr. President, I have the honour and privilege to present Michael Chance for admission to Fellowship of the Royal Northern College of Music. For 4 decades, Michael Chance has performed in a variety of environs all over the world, never content just to be labelled a pioneer of historically informed performance of earlier repertoire or a promoter of the countertenor voice. He has also championed the work of many contemporary composers and been fortunate enough to have had operatic roles, song cycles, cantatas, and much else written for him. His earliest operatic appearances were at Cambridge University, soon followed by 3 seasons with Kent Opera, which included Judith Weir's first opera, A Night at the Chinese Opera. His operatic roles have tended towards gods, heroes, and fairies, and has performed as such across the globe with many of the leading international companies and festivals, with regular visits to Glyndebourne, the English National Opera, the Royal Opera House, the Netherlands Opera, Paris Opera, Opera Australia, Bayerische Staatsoper in Munich, the Maggio Musicale in Florence, Sao Paulo, Lisbon, amongst many. In concert, he has sung Bach with the Berlin Philharmonic with Simon Rattle, Handel with the Gewandhaus Orchestra with Riccardo Chailly, Purcell with Concentus Musicus and Nicholas Harnoncourt, and Carl Orff with the London Symphony Orchestra, as well as regular work with John Eliot Gardner, Ton Koopman, Trevor Pinnock, Christopher Hogwood, Franz Bruggen, and across the Baroque board. His regular recitals covered a wide range of collaborators, including lutanists Nigel North, Jacob Lindbergh, David Miller, amongst others, pianists Malcolm Martineau, Roger Vignals and Julius Drake, harpsichordists Maggie Cole, Lars Ulrich Mortensen, Gustav Leonhardt, and Richard Egar, and for over 30 years, the fretwork viol consort. That is a consort of viols. His belief in extending the countertenor repertoire has prompted new work to be composed for him by a pleasingly long list, including Richard Rodney Bennett, Alexander Gurr, Tan Dunn, Elmer Bernstein, Anthony Powells, John Tavener, and unexpectedly, Elvis Costello. His television appearances include A Night at the Chinese Opera, Death in Venice, The Fairy Queen, the 3 Monteverdi operas with the Netherlands Opera, Popea with Welsh National Opera, Messiah in Dublin with Sir Neville Mariner, and in the autumn 1999, he was featured by the South Bank Show. He's fortunate to have worked during the golden age of digital recording and has over 160 recordings to his name. His many awards include Grammy and the Diapason d'Or. Since largely hanging up his hat as a singer, Michael has combined performing with teaching, coaching and directing, regularly at the Royal Academy of Music and as a long and very valued guest tutor here at the RNCM, and he is an exceptional and inspirational teacher-musician. In 2015, he founded the Grange Festival and has been its artistic director since then, developing it into a hugely successful summer festival of opera, dance and theatrical works, which is committed to making its work as accessible as possible through an ambitious programme of events, education and an extensive outreach programme. He regularly directs opera in the Netherlands at the Royal Conservatoire in The Hague. I have asked Michael about who influenced him as a singer and artist. He remembers, as a teenager, being captivated by hearing the voice of Alfred Deller on an LP recording, you won't know what that is, singing Never Weather Beaten Sail, and very clearly remembers seeing James Bowman live for the first time with the Early Music Consort and David Munro while still at school, and being amazed by his sound and sheer presence. Michael and James went on to sing together many times over many years. In performance, Michael has been mesmerised and deeply affected by singers such as Janet Baker, Peter Pears, Ellie Armeling, Luciano Pavarotti, Margaret Price, and most recently, Christian Gerhaher. And several times when younger, he queued overnight to witness the legendary conductor Carlos Kleiber in action at Covent Garden. He was very much influenced by his teacher, Rupert Bruce Lockhart, and by the inspirational coach, Paul Hamburger. Michael also very much celebrates the memory of Norman Platt, who founded Kent Opera, who gave him opportunities when he, Michael, felt that he didn't really have a clue. And Norman gave so many singers, directors, and conductors their very first jobs, having seen something in them before anyone else. Finally, John Eliot Gardner, who wrote to him when he was, sort of, working as a stockbroker for 3 years, writing encouraging him to give singing a go. Michael was awarded the CBE in 2009. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to present Michael Chance for admission to Fellowship of the Royal Northern College of Music, honoris causa.
Mr. President, I have the honour and privilege to present Dame Imogen Cooper for admission to Fellowship of the Royal Northern College of Music. Imogen Cooper is without question one of the foremost classical pianists of her generation. She was born in London. Her father was a musicologist, her mother was an artist, and she was the youngest of 4 children. As an 11-year-old, her parents sent her to Paris to audition for a course of study with Jacques Février, who was a great friend of Maurice Ravel and Francis Poulenc. Février immediately took her under his wing, commenting that she has a lot to learn, but already has what I cannot teach her. She also studied with Yvonne Lefebvre and was awarded the Premier Prix from the Paris Conservatoire 6 years later. She then returned to London to enjoy the mentorship of Clifford Curzon, Arthur Rubinstein, and Alfred Brendel. Her career has taken her all over the world, performing in the most prestigious concert halls, often with the world's leading orchestras, such as the New York Philharmonic, the Berlin Philharmonic, the Vienna Philharmonic, the Royal Concertgebouw, and all of the British orchestras. She has a particularly close relationship with the Royal Northern Sinfonia and the British Sinfonia. She has appeared under the batons of Simon Rattle, Mark Elder, and Jane Glover on numerous occasions. She is a committed chamber musician, having performed with Adrian Brendel and Henning Kraugerud. Her leader partners include Ian Bostridge, Sarah Connolly, and Mark Padmore. In talking earlier with Imogen, she relays humorous musical encounters that she has enjoyed on her travels around the world. On one occasion, she was engaged by the London Mozart players to play Mozart Piano Concerto K415 under the conductor Jonathan Bloxham. Just prior to the rehearsal, she was listening to a recording on her phone by way of some Bluetooth in earpods. She then rehearsed the first movement of the concerto, having accidentally left the earpods in her ears, albeit with the music switched off. They then embarked on rehearsing the second movement, a beautifully serene movement in F major, and someone then tried to reach Imogen by calling her on the phone. With the ringtone set to barking dogs and the caller not giving up, she rehearsed most of the movement with this canine accompaniment in her ears. Imogen is a committed and inspiring mentor and has given numerous masterclasses at the RNCM. She will return next month on Offer Holders Day, sharing her insights with RNCM students and prospective students wishing to come and study at the college. She has set up the Imogen Cooper Music Trust, where she mentors outstanding young musicians, including fortunate RNCM pianists, on the cusp of international careers. The Trust organizes 2 5-day retreats every year in Saint-Rémy in Provence, where 2 selected young artists enjoy Imogen's guidance for 3 to 4 days, followed by a performance on the final day. The setting in the French countryside is idyllic and free from the hubbub of urban life. Mr. President, I am delighted to present Dame Imogen Cooper for admission to Fellowship of the Royal Northern College of Music, honoris causa.
President, on behalf of the RNCM, I now invite presentations of persons who have rendered distinguished service and are deemed worthy to be admitted as honorary members of this college.
Mr. President, it is an honour and privilege to present Felicity Goody for honorary membership of the Royal Northern College of Music. For 9 years, until last year, Felicity served as a governor on the board of the RNCM, a role which she recalls with a fond twinkle in her eye, and to which she brought immense wisdom, expertise, and integrity, and, where necessary, supportive probing and a little constructive challenge. A true heavyweight in that respect, and she remains in close connection with the college still today through her philanthropy work as a member of the Principals Circle. Felicity began her career at the BBC as an industrial and political correspondent, including presenting the current affairs radio programme File on 4. Her time as a correspondent in the 70s and 80s coincided with many job losses in the area, which she recalls was often heart-wrenching to report, a task balanced by her seeking to make friends in Salford and focus on also finding positive stories to recount about the area. But ultimately, her path was to not just report, but to make things happen. And after 28 years at the BBC, she moved from reporting to regeneration, becoming a founder director of the newly created Northwest Regional Development Agency, which was responsible for the economic development and regeneration of the northwest of England. A few years earlier, she had led the team that funded, built, and then operated the Lowry Theatre and Gallery Complex in Salford Quays. No mean feat at all, given the reputation that the Salford docks had at the time as the most contaminated water in Europe. Following the success of the Lowry, Felicity was asked by Salford City Council to take on a much bigger regeneration challenge, setting up Central Salford, a public-private partnership, at the time the largest urban regeneration company in the country. From 2006, she led the consortium which won the highly contested bid to relocate a major part of the BBC to Salford, much to the chagrin of neighbouring Manchester, of course, and devised the concept of Media City UK on Salford Quays, which was home to a growing number of major media and digital industries and recognised as a globally significant media hub. Felicity has a clear passion for regeneration, but an equal passion for music, stemming back to her school days at a state grammar school, which amazingly put on 3 major choral works each year. And she continues to take singing lessons regularly from, of course, an RNCM alumna. Awarded a CBE in 2001, Felicity's indefatigable energy and drive, as well as her breadth of interests, can be seen in the many influential roles she has played over the last few decades. As a non-executive director of Nord Anglia, president of the Manchester Chamber of Commerce and Industry, a council member of the University of Salford, and as chair of the University Hospital of South Manchester NHS Foundation Trust, which is quite a mouthful. She also became president of the Cheshire Wildlife Trust in 2011 and is the lifelong president of the Lowry Centre Trust. But her passion for music, drama, and opera always shines through. The celebrated French composer Claude Debussy, by all accounts, said that in opera there's always too much singing, a statement which I've no doubt that Felicity would wholeheartedly disagree with, as is evidenced when she talks about Buxton International Festival, regularly sharing with absolute glee and excitement the many successes of that organisation which she chairs. Mr. President, I am delighted to present Felicity Goody for admission to honorary membership of the Royal Northern College of Music honoris causa.
Mr. President, I have the honour and privilege to present Neville Whitbread for admission to honorary membership of the Royal Northern College of Music. Neville Whitbread is a long-standing supporter of the RNCM and advocate for music, the arts and education. Professionally, Neville is a qualified chartered accountant who began his career at Deloitte. In 1976, Neville and his family made a life-changing move from Richmond to the northwest when he joined Altrincham-based firm Brammer. The decision to relocate was influenced by his wife's ties to the region, making here a natural choice for their new home. Together with his wife and their 4 daughters, Neville settled in Cheshire, where he has lived ever since. Shortly after moving, Neville acquired his current business, PBSI, then called P&B, and over the past 45 years, he has successfully run and developed the electrical technology company. Neville often says that life's essentials are food, water, and music. His deep appreciation for music, which he truly believes transcends barriers, was nurtured by his mother, an amateur pianist who played daily for hours on end. One pivotal moment in his musical journey was when he was living in Edinburgh, when he was just 8 years old. During this time, Neville was mesmerised by a violinist practising across the street, filling the air with extraordinary sounds. That violinist was Yehudi Menuhin, rehearsing for a concert with the Edinburgh International Festival in 1948, and is clearly an encounter that has left an enduring impression on Neville. Since moving to Manchester, Neville has made a significant contribution to the region's education and art scenes. He has served as a member of the Court of UMIST and spent over 20 years on the General Assembly of the University of Manchester. He was also an active supporter of the Manchester arts community, serving on the Whitworth Art Gallery Friends Committee for more than 2 decades, including 6 years as its chair. Neville's passion for music, and particularly opera, has led him to host and organise events celebrating and showcasing our productions here for over 20 years. His gatherings around the RNCM operas have grown from informal meals down the road at the local Chinese, before heading here for an evening performance, to the now beloved Opera Lovers Luncheons. These annual events, of one we held on Sunday, are held before weekend matinees and bring together nearly 60 guests, showcasing the opera and talent of the RNCM students to new audiences. Neville has been a tireless supporter of the Royal Northern College of Music, and for over a decade he has contributed philanthropically, serving as a long-standing member of the Principal Circle and a significant scholarship benefactor. In 2018, he established the NW Award to support singers in the School of Vocal Studies and Opera. To date, this award has benefited their performances during their time with us and following their careers long after they graduate. Neville's commitment to and investment in opera, education and the arts has been instrumental in supporting the next generation of talent and also bringing new audiences to the RNCM. Mr. President, I am delighted to present Neville Whitbread for admission to honorary membership of the Royal Northern College of Music, honoris causa.
President, on behalf of the RNCM, I now invite presentations of recent graduates who have been deemed worthy to be admitted as associates of this college.
Songwriter and performer, recognised for contemporary classical and electronic works, Anna Appleby. Vocalist who has recently worked internationally with artists including Dermot Kennedy, Coldplay, Sister Sledge, Dua Lipa and Elton John, James Bradshaw. Singer, entrepreneur and educator, and co-founder and director of Sing Education, Alice Cadman. Educator and entrepreneur and co-founder and director of Sing Education and co-director of Sing Gospel, Joshua Cadman. researcher and composer, and former PRISM researcher in artificial intelligence, Robert Laidlow. First violinist with the Villiers Quartet, soloist, chamber musician, and leader of the Orchestra of Opera North, Katie Stillman. Conductor and the Constant Lambert Conducting Fellow at the Royal Ballet and Opera and Birmingham Royal Ballet, Yi Wei.
This feels special. This is special. I am thanking the Royal Northern College of Music on behalf of all these incredible people, honorands, honorary members, and associate members, for giving us this great honor, and it is a great honor. And I look around at this extraordinary ocean of accomplishment from young people, from older people, and I'm trying to recognize something which bring you together in what you do. And many words are bandied about, but one especially, I think, springs to mind, amongst many others, is commitment. And I'd like to pay a personal tribute, if I may, to your president, who a few years ago I witnessed in the most extraordinary act and process of commitment you can imagine. As an extremely widely, globally recognized singer, he stepped out of his comfort zone and he performed what many consider in the acting world to be the summit of all achievements in playing for the first time, I think, as a professional actor, the role of Shakespeare's King Lear. Not something you take on lightly, especially when you have not trained and performed throughout your working life as an actor, but as a singer, of course, as a brilliantly good acting singer. That is true. But the commitment he showed over many years prior to his performances in the Grange Festival, with which I'm associated in Hampshire, was astonishing, and the performance was, need I say it, completely transformative. So that I pay tribute to you, John, very much. But that is a hallmark, I believe, of what so many of what you've seen today can do and have done, and which I urge all of you younger ones still in the process of learning your craft in this astonishing institution to feel that when things are going badly, stay in there, commit, because it'll pay off in the end. Thank you, the Royal Northern College of Music, so much.
President, on behalf of the Royal Northern College of Music, I present for the award of Doctor of Philosophy in Composition with the thesis title, Composing a Poetic Opera, Anna Appleby. And for the award of Doctor of Philosophy in Composition with the thesis title, Balancing Idealism and Pragmatism in Composition for Wind Bands and Wind Ensembles, Matthew Brown. And for the award of Doctor of Philosophy in Composition with the thesis title, Creative Bodies, Embodied Creation, Performative Behaviour and Identity as Emergent Materials for New Collaborative Works, Ellen Sargent. And for the award of Doctor of Philosophy in Performance with the thesis title, Extending the Sight, an artistic journey in performance, music and drama at Heaton Hall and Park, Caroline Margaret Clegg. And for the award of Doctor of Philosophy in Performance with the thesis title, Re-Realising Opera Performance for Chamber Ensemble, Melvin Tay.
President, on behalf of the Royal Northern College of Music, I present for the award of Postgraduate Diploma in Solo Performance International Artist, Roman Litvinev. Yuan Fan Yang. And for the award of Master of Music in Composition, Audrey Lamb. Manon McCoy. William Charland. Eve Vickers. Ige Wu. Zheng Wu. And for the award of Master of Music in Conducting, Alexander Rebitke. And for the award of Master of Music in Performance, Charlotte Baker. Holly Calder. Bonnie Callahan. Cameron Chinsey. Yumeng Sui. Sarah Donnelly. Ruby Donnelly. Emily Douglas. Liam Forrest. Alexander Gibb. Christopher Gotthard. Chenyu Hao. Christopher Hardy. Bethany Louise Howe. Dylan Jenkins Torr. Andrea Kim. Ross Large. Dylan Latham. Chuk Lam Lau. Zihei Lee. Nina Leonard Savicevic. Maria Matvieva. Leah McCabe. Kirsty McNaughton. Ravi Natwani. Karis Nunn. Daniel Pugh Bevan. Ishe Ravina. Madeline Robertson. Kira Schlosser. Matthew Seacombe. Rosa Sparks. Matthew Thompson. David Tillotson. Yihui Wang. And for the award of Master of Music in Performance and Music Education, Sabrina Giovanardi. Joshua Pyman. And for the award of Master of Music in Performance and Vocal Pedagogy, Nicholas Collins. Stian Davis. Olivia Hamblin. Taylor London. And for the award of Master of Music in Popular Music, Mario De Vita. Imogen Hart. Marlene Mikkelso. Maria Troscha. Alejandro Urbina Diaz. And for the award of Master of Music in Popular Music and Vocal Pedagogy, Elizabeth Yarwood.
President, on behalf of the Royal Northern College of Music, I present for the award of Master of Performance, Man Nok Fung. Xuan Yu Guo. Tse Long Jiang. Hoi Ching Kwong. Ziki Lau. Chen Shun Lin. Xia Chen Ge Liu. Jia Ning Pan. Mina Sun. Shui Ming Sun. Nan Wang. Danielle Williams. Ming Ting Wu. Shanglin Jan. Yunyan Zhang. Zhe Chen Zhao. Leonardo Pizzotto. And for the award of Master of Performance in Popular Music, Jia Le Wang. Are you? And for the award of Postgraduate Diploma, Advanced Studies in Performance, Dima Azar. Jodie Bailey. Bonnie Callahan. Ying Chun. Sophie Clark. Anna Demianchuk. Ao Dung. He Dong. Maeve Hurd. Jessica Hopkins. Adam Jarman. Callum McCandless. Patrick Osborne. Naomi Riley Robinson. David Ruiz Gill. Henry Strutt. President, that concludes the presentation of postgraduate awards. The names of those graduating in absentia are listed in the programme.
President, I present students of the Royal Northern College of Music who have been selected to receive a gold medal. Sharon Fung. Zilong Jiang. Haodong Wang.
Hello. Congratulations to each and every one of you. You have all worked extremely hard and you should be incredibly proud of yourselves for reaching such a significant milestone on your various paths through music. I'll never forget the first time I walked into this building and how I immediately felt this sense of community throughout. Everyone is always so friendly and welcoming, and I feel this is something that truly makes the RNCM very special. I think we can all agree that the RNCM wouldn't be the special place that it is without the phenomenal people working in this building to help shape the future musicians we set ourselves up to be. Thank you to Ravi and the Board of Governors for guiding the college with your expertise. Thank you to Linda and the executive team for your tireless commitment keeping the RNCM ticking, and your support and advice that you have provided throughout my new role. As Student Union President, it has been absolutely fascinating to gain some insight on how the RNCM works behind the scenes. I'm in awe of all the work you do. Thank you to our principal study tutors, heads of school, school administrators, academic staff, staff pianists, student services, for giving us our 5th and hopefully final student card replacement. Thank you to the Wellbeing and Language Support teams, the Sound and Video team, the porters, maintenance, catering team, cleaning staff, reception, security, the library, IT, development, marketing, box office and front of house team. Thank you to all of my successors in student union teams for all of your fantastic work throughout our time at the RNCM and for organising some of the most memorable parties in history. To anyone else that I may have left out, thank you. None of our growth would be possible without the people we surround ourselves with, our family and friends. Thank you to our parents for giving us lifts to and from concerts, encouraging us to practice or telling us to shut up, for being our biggest fans, always supporting us and reminding us why we do what we do every day. Thank you to our friends for being there for us, for never failing to make us laugh on a bad day, and never saying no to a pint, or should I say half a pint, in the bar after an evening rehearsal. Without you, our time at the RNCM would be significantly different. So thank you for creating memories that we will cherish throughout our lifetime. The RNCM, in its 51 years, has built a reputation for producing a special type of musician. RNCM musicians are talented, innovative, versatile, dedicated, supportive, creative, and artistic leaders, to name a few. Not only do I believe that the RNCM helps shape our students to have these attributes, I believe we are all guided in various ways to have these qualities throughout our careers. Whether they be music-based or not, we all have these values. Our alumni are everywhere, and we are taking music in new directions. We are encouraged to be individual, not only in classical and pop music, but in other genres too. We are the ones to shape the future, and the next chapter is ours to write. Finally, always remember to be kind, be yourself. We're all still so young. Go out and explore the world. Don't ever let your fears overwhelm your dreams. You will never know what you're capable of unless you try. Now, go and enjoy your graduation day. You all deserve it. But more importantly, please go and help yourselves to a glass of Prosecco or two. And knowing you lot, it will all be gone in a matter of minutes. And just remember, graduation is not the end, it's just the beginning. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophie, for that heartfelt message, which echoes everything that I feel about this place. It's my great honour to be the president of this excellent college, and it's been my pleasure this afternoon and this morning, actually, with the undergraduates, to present awards to our distinguished honorands and to all of you here in the hall. It's always a joy to come here. I love the vibrant atmosphere and the liveliness and all the other attributes that Sophie was talking about. I echo that. It reminds me, of course, of when I was a music student myself, which is in fact going back to the 60s. And it was at the Royal Manchester College of Music, an old Victorian building down the road, which was one of the forerunners of this splendid building built in about 1971, I think. I just missed out on this building. I was studying down the road at the Royal Manchester 67 to 71, and I learned a valley bass, and I came out as a sort of budding opera singer. Still learning. I'm still learning to this day, actually. I've been an opera singer ever since. I'm still an opera singer. Slowing down a bit, but still very much there. It all started for me 20 miles north of here in a little town called Oswald Twistle, which was back in the 50s and 60s, still a very sort of industrial place with mills. And amateur singing and playing and music was inherent in that society. You know, my uncle conducted the Accrington Male Voice Choir. I was given singing lessons by my Auntie Ivy at the ripe age of 15 or something, singing love duets in her front room, and so on. But I came to Manchester first of all to study civil engineering, which I enjoyed, which was a natural progression. But after that, I gravitated to what I really cared about, which was music and singing. Now, opera singing, it's quite a demanding thing, actually. I mean, at that college I learned, you know, about vocal technique most importantly, but also other aspects of musicianship, drama, acting, dance. Language is crucially important. And in the profession it's quite stressful, but of course deeply enjoyable. Opera singing it's taken me all around the world. The Royal Opera House London to the Metropolitan New York, Tokyo, Sydney, up to the Vienna State Opera, Wolverhampton Theatre Royal. An opera, of course, is a combination of words and music. Words sort of convey the story. Music expresses the depths, expresses the subtext, expresses everything about the human condition. The drama, the emotion, and it's the pulse of the performance. Michael was incredibly generous about my performance of King Lear, which was an exhilarating event for me too, and I'm grateful to him for putting it on. Straight theatre is intellectually, I would say, more, this is a generalisation, but it's more demanding intellectually than being an opera singer. Because there's no music, in a word. It's not as physically demanding. Being an opera singer, you know, no microphones, of course, so we are pouring out that sound the whole evening if it's a big role. It's extremely physical. It's extremely physically demanding to pour out that sound. And that's why it's so essential to have a good vocal technique, so you're creating the most projecting, carrying, efficient sound for all those great opera houses that we sing in. Let me just gather my thoughts a minute. I've gone off track here. But just continuing with music. Music, as I say, it's the pulse, it's the heartbeat, it's the thrust through of the performance, it's the power, it's the drama, it's the emotion. And in the straight theatre, the whole cast have got to create that without music. As an opera singer, the music is doing all of that for you. You're sort of riding on the wave of it. But having said that, again, it's very physically demanding. Sorry, I'm rambling a bit today. I don't know what's going on. But just to finish with a eulogy to music, which is, after all, why we're all here. We're all connected in some way with music. And just to say that music is a magical medium. It goes straight to the heart. It brings a tear to the eye. And how often have we had a tear in the eye and thought, where's that come from? What's that about? It's mysterious. It gets us to get up and dance. It reaches, I have to use this phrase because somebody told me it's his favourite phrase in this little bit of my speech. And the phrase is, music reaches parts that other art forms don't reach. And so finally, my very last sentence is, in the service of music, wherever your lives take you, may it bring you great joy and fulfillment. Thank you.
Mr. President, or should I say King Lear. Thank you very much for your very wise words. So, sadly, we're approaching the end of our magical afternoon, but I think we need another round of applause for our honorands, our fellows, our associates, and of course, our amazing graduates. So please. So I will be brief because I think the back of the room is getting very thirsty. So in keeping with tradition, we will end with one of our students singing the national anthem. But before I introduce our students, just a bit of housekeeping. Could I kindly ask our guests to remain in your seats until our students have left the auditorium and the President's procession has left also. So, without further ado, please a warm round of applause for James O'Connelly, who's going to sing the national anthem for us. Sorry, please be upstanding.